Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of Mat Chat with Melandro. Today we're interviewing Andy Roberts and Roger Gracie BJJ Black Belt, Jay Butler. Look out for the technique section at the end too. Cheers guys. Hey guys, welcome to the second edition of Mat Chat here at North 12 Academy of Martial Arts. Thursday the 19th of September. So today I got with me Jay Butler. A lot of you guys will know Jay because he fights almost every other week, either in the gi or no gi, Polaris, Grapple Fest, you name it, whatever is out there, he's on it. Smashing, taking names, all that kind of stuff. Jay, just quickly tell the guys a little bit about your lineage.
So my lineage is my trainer Andy Roberts in North Camp, Farnborough. I've been with Andy for nearly 11 years, and obviously Andy is a black belt under Roger. I received my black belt from Roger in March 2017.
Roger Gracie, just in case.
Roger Gracie, the man, the king of our sport. And just fell in love with the sport and been doing it for a good near enough 11 years now.
And how long have you been a black belt now?
It'll be 3 years in March
3
already,
years.
and it has flown by. Yeah.
And you did MMA as well, right?
Yeah, well my sole goal, the thing that got me into this was actually my wife.
Okay.
I used to lift weights, and before I started jiu-jitsu I was quite a chunky guy.
You can't really tell. Yeah, go.
Not now. But I used to work out to old boxing DVDs. My dad was a good boxer back in the day, and she brought me home a UFC DVD. And it was BJ Penn versus Matt Hughes, and I wasn't too keen on, I prefer to box. And then she brought me home another one, and on this DVD was a segment of special features about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay.
And then I watched the documentary on it and just fell in love with the art, the style, the formats. I started watching more UFC, so I got into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to pursue MMA, because that's what I got into. And the more I grappled, the more I fell in love with it. So it got to the point where I just did MMA just to see if my jiu-jitsu would work against someone that is trained and someone that wanted to punch and kick me. And my first 5 fights had a lot of success.
Nice.
My first fight went the distance. My second fights were all first round submissions.
Oh, sweet.
And then I just started to pursue more and more jiu-jitsu from then. And then Andy gave me a big privilege in 2010 when the club was still growing. He asked me to teach for him.
Wow, okay.
So I started teaching as a blue belt for Andy. Andy wasn't even a black belt himself at that point. He was still a brown belt, and the club was growing. And then I just fell in love with teaching. Nothing beats helping people. And I've been doing that since then, man.
You've been teaching for 9 years?
9 years now, yeah.
Wow,
absolutely love it. And I think...
Did you find, looking back now, did you find that when you first began teaching that actually you were crap?
Yeah. Oh, I look back at that 5, 6 years ago, even a couple of years ago, I think, oh God, I was crap. Even watching some of my matches at brown belt now when I thought it was good, and early black belt, and it's like...
I'm saying that because I've been teaching for a long time, all different martial arts. But I was teaching jiu-jitsu to a very small group as a blue belt and purple belt. And when I look back now, I was like, I thought I knew stuff, but I actually sucked, really. Because teaching is an art in itself, right?
Yeah. I've been training at Rogers before, and I was one with a black belt there, and I was a purple belt at the time, and he completely destroyed me. He did this move to me that I couldn't even explain what he did to me. And after the round, I actually asked him to show me what he did to me, and he could not. He was English, he could not put it into words or break down the technique. He had to get Bruno Zancano, who's another Roger Gracie black belt, an extremely good black belt. He had to come over and teach me the technique. Wow, so I think teaching is an art form in itself. Yeah.
It's quite, honestly, it's quite common, and I just speaking very briefly about teaching, I think the teaching standards generally are low, but the reason why I say that, it's not a criticism of all the teachers out there, it's because I think that during your jiu-jitsu journey, I think the emphasis is on getting you to perform techniques in the class, in a competition against people.
Yeah.
And maybe less emphasis with actually being able to pass that knowledge. Would you agree or disagree? I mean,
I agree.
And then they hit a black belt, and all of a sudden, it's like you got to teach, but where do I start? And you can't always say, oh, I'm going to do what my teacher taught me. What if the teacher wasn't that good at teaching? What you got to do, right?
Yeah, 100%. I took on the sort of style of doing it as Mauricio said he had Roger teach. Roger Gracie, Mauricio Gomez, obviously, from an early age, and he said that that's what helped Roger's jiu-jitsu progress. And I feel, as an instructor, over the last 9 years, has helped make me the jiu-jitsu practitioner I am today. I think breaking down techniques, repeating techniques you wouldn't necessarily do in a class, so if you're PTing and stuff like that, you know, you never, when you PT, as you probably know yourself, you never know what that person's going to ask you. It could be the most random technique in the world. And you know, touch wood, the 9 years I've been teaching PT and I've never been asked a question that I couldn't answer. I'm sure it's going to come one day, but it hasn't happened so far.
Well, occasionally people ask me where I get my hair cut. That one stumps me a little bit.
Where do you?
I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you. You know what I mean? Special thing. But I mean, just talking about your teaching for a second, because, you know, obviously, you know, you're over here at my academy today, and, you know, for sure we're exchanging knowledge, but, you know, one of the reasons why you're here is because, you know, I asked you a few months ago to come and help me with, you know, aspects of my no-gi game and leg locks. Not just leg locks, because you're more than that, but I wanted to learn about that style of game, and I'd seen you fight in Polaris, and I'd seen you. And also, to be fair, it helped that we're both sponsored by, you know, Tatami. So, I reached out to you, and so, you know, from a teaching perspective, I'm quite fussy about who I train with personally, and I don't mean I'm a snob. I just mean I'm fussy because I got to train with somebody who's able to communicate to me what I need to know. It doesn't matter if you could kill everybody. Can you teach me?
Yeah.
And I will certainly say that, you know, my game has improved a lot, and I understand really slowly. I'm probably one of your worst students, but in terms of teaching style, I would say, you know, you got it on point. You really understand. I feel you really understand.
Coming from someone as respected as you in our industry, that means a lot.
No, but honestly, I feel you really know what you're doing, but you also know how to pass it on to the students at their different levels.
I think a big thing about being an instructor is caring about what you're doing. Yeah. I'm very passionate about what I do. I've not been like overly good at a lot of things in life, but I'm not saying I'm great at jiu-jitsu, but I enjoy jiu-jitsu. I'm passionate about helping people, passing my knowledge on, and like I said, since I've been coming over here, just the little extra bits you give me from my game are things that have taken my jiu-jitsu to another level, and realised that I don't know a great deal, and that's why I'm very humble, even as a black belt. I love to learn. I'll learn anything from anyone, but I can. And if I'm going to use it, I'll use it. If not, then cool. At least I know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that. I like knowledge. Knowledge is power in our game.
Well, you guys, I mean, you know, out there that are interested, I'd certainly say to you, you know, I mean, I'm just coming from the heart. If you guys, you know, want to up your leg lock game and a no-gi game, even gi for sure. But, you know, if you guys want to look at that, you know, give Jay a shout. I'll put some details when I put the message out. Or if you've got an email address or something they can contact you.
Yeah, it's Jay Butler, bjj@gmail.com. Or come down to Andy's, you know, it's an open academy. Andy likes all loads of people to come down and train. I mean, Andy's is a really cool place. And we're in a new facility now. It's huge, really, really big, lots of classes, lots of high level competitors as well. We've got a really good comp team we've built at Andy's over the last couple of years, and like I said, they're all competing on big shows: Battle Grapple, Grapple Fest, Ace Submission Grappling, Pantheon, Polaris. We're just trying to push it.
And you got a big fight this weekend, mate.
Yeah.
2 days, 3 days time.
I think at this time, every fight's a big fight.
Yeah, it's true. Very true.
I've been throwing all these big names like Ashley Williams, Camille Wilk, Frank Rosenthal, you know, and then this weekend they get the privilege of taking on, in my eyes, is a UK legend, Marco Cannon.
Yeah, superb guy, absolutely superb.
Marco's, he's fought Andy a couple of times and got the better of Andy a couple of times. Good fights, both of them. You know, and it's a real privilege to fight him. I'm really looking forward to it. And Marco's a real good.
Marco's a genuine, genuine nice guy, and superb jiu-jitsu. Yeah. So you know, it's one of those things where it's almost like it's a shame you two have to fight, but actually, you know, I know the two of you get on as well, and it's just be great to see you guys exchange knowledge on the mat.
It's full respect, isn't it? Until you slap hands in the 10 minutes, he's going to try and kill me. I'm going to try and kill him. Then afterwards, we'll shake hands, and then we'll exchange the techniques that we've used to beat each other afterwards.
And that's how it's supposed to be.
100%. Yeah.
Can you just tell? I remember some, but can you just tell the guys, you know, like, because you trained with a who's who. I mean, like when I say train, I don't mean just like in a little seminar. You train with a who's who of jiu-jitsu. Could you fling out some of the names of the guys who you've trained with and that have influenced you? If you could remember them all.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, the good thing about, like I said, I love training Andy's is he gets so many people in, so many people. I mean, I was training for like 3 months. I got the chance to train with Roger. I mean, Roger Gracie is like the Lionel Messi of football, isn't he? He's the god of jiu-jitsu. And I've lost count how many times I've trained with Roger. Cecilio Costa, the Miao brothers coach, Braulio Estimo Legato, Vitor Shaolin, Jake Shields from MMA Fighters to Jiu-Jitsu guys. But I have to say, probably one of the funnest people that I've had the privilege to train with and learn from is Ross Nichols.
Okay, right.
Ross, I love training with Ross. I love Ross's style. He's someone I look up to. I've had the privilege of fighting him 3 times now, and unfortunately I've come away with the loss all 3 times. But losing to Ross Nichols is not a shameful thing.
No, of course not.
He's extremely knowledgeable coach.
Yeah.
He puts things, real high class techniques across, but makes them very basic and very applicable in this sport. And I've really enjoyed learning from him. People like Ashley Williams, he's got a real good passing game. I learned a lot from Ashley and training with him. Just anywhere.
Didn't you train with Craig Jones as well? You said
I've trained with Craig Jones a few times. Lachlan Giles. Yeah. It's funny. Obviously they do a lot of leg lock game. Is their speciality, and obviously Craig trains under Lachlan, but their games are very different. Like certain grips that Lachlan takes that Craig doesn't, certain ways that Lachlan holds the leg positions that Craig doesn't. It's just nice to see the coach and instructor, but I took so much away from both, training with both of them. And I've fought on shows with Craig so many times now. It's just really starts to recognise me by name now. This is quite nice. And obviously I come here a lot to train with you. You know what I mean? Training with you and
keep coming back, man.
Always walking away with these extra little techniques that I take back. And, they're like golden nuggets. Like when I tell the guys at the academy what I've learned, I don't always teach them what I've learned just so I can use it. But even bringing one of the students down, like Connor, a couple of weeks ago, he was jaw dropped. He was gobsmacked by the stuff he come away, especially for his gi game. The extra little bit of gi bits you gave him, absolutely loved it.
But if you don't, if you don't cross train sensibly, you're always stunting your game a little bit. You know what I mean? You've got to seek knowledge. Because people talk about being humble and humility, and I think it's often, I don't know, when I say misunderstood, what I mean by that is this: look, to be humble, it doesn't mean you have to go around saying I'm humble. And you don't have to go around saying, hey man, I'm not really any good, I don't know anything. That's false humility, you know what I mean? You're just, of course I'm good, right? or you know what I mean, but you're just saying you're not. That's false humility. But you have to know what you have, but you also need to know what you don't have, and you've got to be humble enough to go and seek that knowledge and seek that information.
100%.
And not be afraid. The amount of times we roll, you tap me, man, this is fantastic. I don't want to be tapped in that sense, but I'm learning and you're tapping me and I'm learning. Do you know what I mean? And I'm getting in situations where I'm weak and you're strong and I'm learning. And and I think if you don't put yourself in that situation, how are you going to learn?
Exactly. But that's why I come in, man. The door swings both ways. Say about me submitting you enough. You had your fair share of taps on me. Your cheeky wrist lock just springs to mind. Well,
no, that's because I do stick. I use stick fighting, so I got a weapon. I got a stick nearby. I've always got it. Look, hold on. When I'm rolling with Jay, I've always got this close by, just in case. He's about to leg lock me. and I can't grab the arm. I'll beat him with that. Just a couple more things then. How old are you now?
I'm 36.
Okay, so but you're fighting all the young guys.
Yep, I've not fought someone my age for a long time. They're all young 20s, but I train with George Asprey. He plays Scar in The Lion King in London.
Okay.
He's a very famous actor. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Okay.
And I first trained him a long time ago, and he was rolling the mat. He's having a bad day.
Okay.
Everybody has bad days. I have bad months sometimes, and he walked off the mat quite upset, and he was complaining about, I'm too old to carry on with this, that, and the other. And I pulled him aside and said, George, your age is just a number, man. Don't think about your age. Don't let that drag you down. Age is nothing. You do and work within the boundaries of your own body and how you feel. Yeah. But always keep your head up and always keep training. And he uses that to this day. So I until my body physically won't let me do it anymore, which I'll train jiu-jitsu for the rest of my life. But competitive wise, I've definitely got a good few years left.